Welcome back to the grand finals here of the eMerge Euros between Norway and England. With myself and another losing semi-finalist, Box, to join me in the cast. How are you doing, Box?
Glad to be here, man. Definitely a bit crestfallen after that match, but you know what? We move, and I'm here now to cast what should be a great match.
I think so. Any predictions so far? Before?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I'm honestly not. Obviously, both sides are very strong. We've seen before. Personally, I know I played the Norwegian side here in the group stages, and they were very strong there. From early on, I've been saying that we would have an England and Norway final, and of course, it's been delivered.
Yeah, no, I think that was the highest chance, of course. I think those were the two favorites from the get-go.
Yeah,
With, of course,
definitely.
Norway side with two of the strongest players here, as the strongest combined team, DSN and rank-wise. And I think Uno being one of the highest rated players in the tournament.
Yeah, and I mean, Uno played very solid, of course, in that semi-final that's just gone by. Both of them did. Both of them sort of had their moments in the games, but I don't think we actually seen a match where both of them were on point. And Uno was even saying that here just a minute ago, where it was either him or Ratman that popped off. It was never both of them. So it's going to be interesting to see if in this final they can finally get that happening and both of them work in sync.
Exactly, as we head in there with a nice backward touch for Uno here, but a double commit on the backward actually between Valonis and Cass, as Valonis still gets hold of the ball and the boost here. Uno in a bit of a predicament, switching out of the Batmobile by the way, and not back into the Octane. What do you think about that choice? Do you think do you think it's a mental thing, that he's more like easy in the Octane, or would you recommend for him staying in the Batmobile?
I think Uno's definitely a person who can use a lot of different cars, but I do know in the last match there was a pre-agreement that it would be Batmobile v Skyline, and I think that could be the only reason that he kept Batmobile for the last series. I think now switching is just because that this is the car he truly wants to play now. But it'll be interesting. Do you think his playstyle will change now that he's changed cars?
I think his Octane playstyle is a bit more mechanical. You can expect him to be a bit faster and a bit less, I would say, ground-heavy playstyle.
Yeah.
But as you can see, a good amount of pressure coming from the England side here on the Norway side, pinning them down to their own half. But Wallons with a good clear, and Kas come out for Demon, which should be an open net for Wallons, which he of course makes. Really nice counterplay there for the Norwegian side.
Yeah, and I mean that's just going to be 1-0 to Norwegian, plain and simple. Do you think that we're going to see more of this from Malone's? Just a cynical capitalization on just the small mistakes that England are making?
I think at least coming into the semi-final, of course, speaking for ourselves, this is what we expected from them. Wallons
Yeah,
playing a really heavy once play style, keeping the ball close to his car, trying to outplay the first man, and then Kas coming in for the second man, or Wallons putting it infield, or like something like this.
exactly. There we go. The caster's curse, man. Every time.
I
And I mean,
think what a pass, and really nice shot by Kas. There a lot of
yeah,
power, 122 in the far corner. Nothing you could do about that one.
yeah. I mean, you just don't save those at the end of the day.
If you're not ready there, if you're pushing up in a 2v2, you don't see it coming, you're not ready. If you see it happening, you have a chance, but still.
Exactly.
I
That's
mean,
just
Kas with his second open net miss there, I believe.
yeah. Just I think even though it's already 2-0 to Norway, I do believe it should be more. We see it there, obviously with Cass and the miss. Do you think that Norway might be suffering from some nerves, or even England as
I
well?
I don't think there are much nerves in play here. I think most of the guys here are just to have a bit of fun.
Yeah,
But again, of course, in the end of the day, you don't want to lose. So maybe a little bit of nerves for playing on stream, maybe, because as we saw, clips can get spread into the Discord. We are not. As we can see, a lot of pressure again coming out from the England side. And Redman getting beat up because they're maybe giving himself a shoot to shoot, but unfortunately for Cas, he misses there as Uno collects the ball.
I mean, we have yet to really actually see anything from this England side. I don't think. I mean, of course, the scoreboard. Uno does have a good few points on the board, but it's all just from defensive saves.
As we
haven't
say
really.
that, this should be Uno robs Redman there for the goal. There, I
Oh,
think if Uno leaves that one there, that's a goal.
I think it's like as I mentioned earlier, it's all about them working in sync. You know, only one of them feeling good about themselves at the time, and as we said, Uno sinks one in.
Really, really nice play there. Controlling the ball, like going under it and instantly flicking the ball past. Maybe a bit too much space there to collect the ball and get a flick off. But again, a
Yeah,
really nice play by Uno himself there. As you know, he's someone that we've seen all tournament is capable of making that solo play and just forcing a goal in.
exactly. And I mean, though, it's a very like even match in some senses, but yet in the other it's not, because we can see that it is very back and forth. Every second play reaches the net and poses some sort of danger. But it's definitely been a very interesting match, and
What
we
a
can see
save
it.
by us there.
Yeah, I was
Missing
about to
the
say,
ball in the
like,
first place, but nice pre-jump afterwards, getting the save done.
yeah, like again, there we go, just a save followed by another save at the opposite end. It's a very goal line scramble filled match.
Yeah, no, I think it's very different to watch your semi-finals match. There's a lot of a close matchup, a lot of midfield 50s,
Yeah,
and in the end, like not really much chances, but the chances that were there were almost always goal-scoring opportunities.
exactly.
As Uno takes it over 1-2, gets the double, and Redman should be able to put his open net in. As we go into a tie with 10 seconds left on the clock, what do you think? Are we gonna see an overtime in the first game here?
I'm not too sure. I mean, I wouldn't rule out another goal just yet. I think both teams have it in them, but we have seen that both teams are also defensively competent. So it's going to be interesting here this final 9 seconds. We can see there a solid kickoff from Uno, beats Valowns up the wall, but it doesn't look like it's going to come to much unless Ratman. No, it's going to hit the ground, I think, unless Valowns.
Ballon's not able to double that, Uno just puts it down to get to the overtime.
Yeah, so there's the overtime there, and I don't know, any predictions for this overtime?
I think Norway are still the favorite. If I've seen the match in general, Norway has the upper hand. And as we say that,
As we said, again, it's just the caster's curse.
I think Redman here a bit too slow back into defense, in a really tough situation, having to avoid the demo of loans, and Gus ready to put it into the net.
Yeah,
As a
I mean,
really solid player for the Norwegians, getting a kickoff win, and then straight again, just converting it into a goal. As we can see for the shots, a really open match with many shots across the teams,
yeah.
between both teams. So as we head into game 2, what are your predictions for the second game? Do you think that Norway is gonna get another one of this victory, or do you think that England can tie the series?
See, it could really go either way at this point, I think, because both teams have been very strong. Both teams have been very strong in their own sense, but I do think Norway might have this one. What about you?
I have to agree with you here. I think that Norway is the scary team, like we've seen in the first match. There were just some plays like it's one pass one to another, and it's just a goal. I think they have a bit more possibilities for a fluent offense, I would say. As
Yeah,
England is more from hammering down the net and trying to get a lot of pressure mounting up into a goal.
yeah. It's just, I think, again, now I wouldn't know Ratman's rank off the top of my head, but it's quite
C3
obvious.
player.
Yeah, so it's quite obvious to me. Obviously, Cass and Valance, they seem to be similar in rank, or at least playstyle, and they work very well together. Ratman and Uno just don't seem to have that same synergy.
As we say that though, Cass with a whiff, I would say. I think there should be a save all day for him.
Definitely should have been a save, but I mean, we do know, of course, everyone has those moments, so I wouldn't rule it out as something that'll happen again. But
Valo's just putting it in the center. Cass back to collect the ball. Putting it upfield. Valo's up really fast, beating Uno there to the ball. As Cass gets another backboard hit off. Maybe he wanted to put a shot on target, but couldn't get so. And again, England ready to defend. Close bump for Valo's there. Didn't make contact, but Cass may be able to get a goal here. Really good defense by Uno there.
yeah, very good awareness from Uno there to get that touch. But we can still see Cass just piling on the pressure.
As Valence collects the ball in midfield, takes 50, but Uno beats him really hard, goes for the pass to Redman, and Redman shoots just wide with a really good demo coming out of Uno as well. As Valence gets a demo and the 50 there, which puts Redman in a bit of awkward situation with the spawn. Valence going for another demo here. As we can see, the demo's coming out for the Norwegian side here. Do you think it's something common that you can expect more from them, or?
I do think so, but I'm not sure how long they'll attempt to do it. There's Uno with a lovely flick and an even better finish, but I can definitely say there will be more, but as to how long they will keep on attempting it, I'm not too sure, because even though it came easy there, as soon as they start getting more demos in, England will cop on, and I think they'll dodge them much easier.
That's a fair point. As we can see, a big kickoff win for the Norwegian side again, and Uno again ready to collect the ball, get the boost going, and maybe get another one of those flicks off. Gets the pass to Valence, but Kas should be able to collect the ball here. Rapper with a
Be a
doink,
bit of an
almost his own
awkward
man.
touch.
Really huge boost script there for Kas, but who gets contact on Uno but doesn't demo there. It looked like he made contact, but maybe just not made enough.
Yeah, it seemed to just be a small skim there, but I think Uno definitely just outpacing him there in every manner.
Really unfortunate for Kas, they're just not making the contact you need for the demo. As England takes a 3-0 lead, what do you think? With almost 3 minutes left to play, do you think that Norway can turn this around?
See, in a series that's been so back and forth, I wouldn't be able to call it, but again, talking about the series being back and forth, I can't imagine them pulling back three. I think it will devolve into a case where Norway scores, then England scores again, and so on and so forth. I cannot see them pulling back three in such a tight series.
I think I have to agree with you. I think 3 is maybe a bit too big of a gap to clear fully. But I definitely see that we still have a close series on our hands. As Kaz and Valon's double commit there. Valon's not reading the touch for Kaz there, but maybe if Valon's can get around in front of it. But Uno has a good block there. Uno collects the ball. Again, a lot of space given to Uno here. That's not the player you want to give space. With his ability to pour the 1-for-1 in his offense.
Exactly. Do you think that's one of the biggest reasons that Norway are currently 3-0 down, because of their just willingness to give space?
I think indeed there was a few overcommits there on the Norwegian side, which gave Uno or Redman enough space and time to control the ball and just pile up the pressure and get a good goal. As we say that though, a goal for Norway, it's a 2-goal difference now with 140 left, which is enough time to make this series at least close or maybe force it even to an overtime.
Yeah.
As we see, Uno collects the ball, maybe going for aerial play here. Goes for the briefly maybe into aerial, but a double pit on the save, but Valence a good save in the end. Redman ready to collect the ball as Kas demos Uno, and maybe this is if their time is an open net. Valence misses the shot.
That's a big miss for Valons. That should have been easy pickings.
Maybe didn't have enough boost to just finish it, to just reach. Really unfortunate for him, but again, this is a really big moment for England because this is a tough one for the morale maybe.
Exactly.
Again, and a lot of times I see Valence and Kas in the same position in offense, which makes it a bit awkward for both of them because they do not know what to do. Maybe this is also one of the reasons that England is capitalizing at the moment. What do you think?
Yeah, Castle Valons definitely seem to be sticking together a lot position-wise, and I think in the end that will be their downfall. I think Uno and Ratman are the opposite. Ratman just ends up sitting back most of the time, kind of allowing Uno to do his thing. I think that's one of the problems that comes with having a matchup like this, because Cass and Valons are such similar ranks that they have the same ideas, whereas when Uno and Ratman, with that rank difference, of course,
I mean,
it just doesn't happen.
wouldn't you say that people on the same rank you would expect to be able to think more in a ID or get inside the head of your teammate instead of the rank difference where you sometimes can, like this happened, Uno was on the backboard and maybe Redman didn't think that Uno would go for the ball there.
Definitely. But, I
Because
mean,
sometimes you just think it wouldn't be possible to reach a ball there and you think you have to go instead of other people are like, oh well, that's an easy save for him.
yeah, it's just, as we mentioned, the way in which Cass and Valance are bouncing off each other it just seems as if they're just glued together almost on the pitch. They're staying way too close to each other. And, you know, Uno and his flicks or Ratman's and his clears, it doesn't bode well because once it's over their heads, it's in the back of the net.
And Redman just drops the ball here, getting a 3-2 victory to equal the series in a 1-1. As game 3, again, really close series so far, 2 1-goal games.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think this match can go either way. I think someone, the team who gets the early goal here is gonna have a lot of momentum going into the series.
I think so. Any predictions for game 3 now going forward?
I would say the team who scores first is gonna take the game.
That's actually a bold statement, but you know, I could probably back you on that, to be honest. I do think the first goal has definitely been a deciding factor in the past few games.
Yeah, you don't want to be behind in the last minute, and that's a lot of the time what we've seen. People need to crawl back, put a lot of effort in to just make that goal happen.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, in the end, just not enough to pull it fully back to their favor.
Yeah, but I mean, instantly there we can see a double whiff from Cass and Uno just leaving the ball floating. Do you think we'll see more of that sort of stuff now that it's game 3? The players might be getting a bit tired,
I
having
think
already
I
played a
think
series.
both players there went for a block here. I think both of the players respected each other and were like, "Oh, you're gonna beat me, so I have to play the block." So I think
Yeah.
that's the reason that the ball stayed in the middle floating. But again, I think mistakes will pile up as pressure comes. It's a really nice play there by Kaz there, giving Balloons a really open net there. Good
A
pressure,
solid finish from Valence.
pulling it backboard, recovering, and just putting it to the backboard again. Uno in a tough situation there, having to recover, and easy goal for Balloons.
Of course, I mean, quite the opposite to what we were seeing from Valence earlier in the series. Now he seems to be a lot more confident in finishing those open nets. I think if that was game 1 Valence, that would have been off the bar.
Yeah, I mean, I think Balloons' shooting has been pretty solid so far. But again, maybe he wouldn't be ready to the pass. Maybe he would have been a bit further back, a bit more safe. As we can see now, he was further upfield than I've seen him most of the time when Kaz was in position.
Yeah.
As Uno with a pre-flip going out to the wall, getting a trip on Kaz as well, but Kaz is back in his way, shutting him down, forcing another touch. And I think this is what Norway needs to do. The moment Uno touches the ball, just close him down, try and force him off, and then just trust your teammate to be back.
That was... Oh, and there we go, another goal for Norway. That's 2-0 up. This is almost mirroring the last game now. Obviously, last game it was England going a few goals up. Now it's Norway. It just shows how back and forth this series is. Do you think England has what it takes now to pull this back?
I think it's a tough situation because what I think Norway at the moment is doing is just trying to shut down Uno as fast as possible, not giving him the time to take control of the ball and forcing, if he wants to put it past one, that he needs to flick immediately.
Yeah.
And that's another good shot by Balloons there, making it 3-0. As we can see, Norway just piling up the pressure at the moment and just making sure that England is not able to get out of their own half.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if you would agree, but it looks as if Norway has just woken up. They're playing a lot faster, a lot more aggressive, and as you yourself just said, just piling on the pressure. And I don't think England can, as I was about to say, they can't handle it.
But a
That
really
man,
nice beat there by Redman.
yeah,
Getting a huge kickoff win, getting a lot of momentum coming in there, and just beating us flat out with a good shot there, making it
what a
3-1.
play.
A bit like one of Dielinch's goals, like you 52 people off, and then after that, Dielinch could be able to put an open net.
Exactly, that was one of the goals we scored, but I don't know. The team matchup seems a lot different, so I'm definitely a bit surprised to see something like that here. Anyway.
Yeah, and, Uno going for the aerial bomb, but Valons making good contact here. Cause missing the redirect, but Valons Redman puts it back to Valons. So Valons going for a bomb, forcing the jump on Redman. As Cos gets position again, but Uno should be able to pick up this ball. As you can see, an air dribble coming out, but not coming too much. Valons just waiting on the wall, ready to receive the ball. What do you think? Is it that Norway at the moment just have the offense of England figured out, or what do you think? Is England just suffering a little bit?
It does almost seem like as if Norway has just figured England out. I think anything England goes for, they're just shutting down almost instantly. reading England's actions a lot more. We can see Valence there almost with a good goal, pretty much on the goal line there.
Really nice dunk there from Cosmo Redman there. And Valence instantly on the shot. This is what you love to see. This is what I was afraid of when you see Norway with these names on the team. Like
Yeah.
this kind of speed, just the moment you think you have time to collect the ball, they're just in your face and putting that shot on target.
Exactly. I mean, it's just absolutely mental here to see.
And we see a close kickoff, but a good touch because they're putting on the backboard with Uno again, just having to hit the ball away to the other side. Redman maybe coming in for a bomb, but Valone's staying calm and just collecting the ball. And again, I think that the difference here, the biggest difference here, is that Norway is now shutting down Uno as soon as possible, and England is not shutting down either Valone's or Kos as soon as they can. It looks like they're giving him too much respect or something. I think that's the biggest deciding factor at the moment. Would you agree, or?
Yeah, I mean, it almost seems to be the opposite of what we were seeing before. Obviously, before it was England giving Norway space. Now it's the opposite, and it just
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
yeah, it's a 1-5 with 140 remaining. I mean, I hope for England that they're gonna score soon because otherwise such a defeat's always gonna carry you on in the series. I mean, trying to claw back a bit of momentum because this is not what you want to see. And Guess going for air draw, but Uno saves it. But Valone's already ready to just collect the boost and put it past Uno here. But doesn't get the
Yeah.
mid boost, so it gives Uno some space. Maybe going for an air dribble, tries to fake it. And this is what I like. But again, unfortunately, Redman just goes for the mid boost there. Doesn't trust Uno there to get the touch or anything. Because if he's there in the middle, they just have a scoring opportunity. As Veloz makes a lovely air dribble, but I thought there was contact on the ball there.
So did I, but of course the game never agrees with what the player feels, and that was evident there as Valence sinks it to make it 6-1. Do you think we might even see a Brazil coming out here in this match?
I mean, I think the possibility is definitely there. As we see Gus going for the shot there, puts it on the bar. Unfortunate, but Valence just keep position here, going for a double. As Uno collects the ball here. But they will have to shut down Uno soon, because otherwise those flicks are lethal. Rippin popping it up high, going for another touch, but Gus just almost instantly up to just beat him out. As see Uno going to the ceiling. As Valence is a good block. Gus ready in the 1-4. This is a tough situation for Redman, with Valence and Gus both being there. But he does well to get the ball under control and give Uno some time to get back.
He does, but again, it was Valence right back in there. He's playing so fast, so aggressive, and I don't know if you would agree, but I just don't think England was expecting this out of him.
I think that's the difference maker this series compared to the other ones. The second man of Norway is just so aggressive. You would almost think that they would be overcommitting, but they're just ready for everything. As a misread for Redman there, and that's Brazil with 14 seconds left. What do you think? Are we gonna end it on a Brazil, or is there gonna go in another goal?
Judging by how this game has gone, I don't believe England will score in the last 14 seconds. Norway might, but I believe they will want to hold Brazil. Just for the meme of it, of course.
We'll have to see. Yes, Gus collects the ball of Redman, and only just give some time and space, waiting back post. Oh, they want
Yeah,
them to score. They do not want to get Brazil.
yeah, we can see it there.
Oh, no, going for the own goal. Ah,
Yeah,
this is. I mean, this is a bigger W in my books than getting Brazil. If the opponents have to score an own goal to not get Brazil.
and of course, of course, Uno was the man to do it. It just, you love to see it.
You would almost give
And
them an extra point for that one.
yeah. And that, of course, makes it 2-1 to Norway. Do you think this will be a 3-1 now to Norway, and we'll finish it out, or do you think we'll
Looking at
actually
stats, you almost have to think so. 14 shots compared to 3. That's a huge difference. Like, that just shows that you've been in defense like 80% of the match almost. So I think Norway are definitely the favorite. Unless, again, England can get an early lead. I think that's their way out. But, again, that will be tough.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it'll happen. Of course, it being the final, being 2-1 down, I think this is really when the nerves will start coming in for both teams. Norway being on match point, and as I say it though, Cass showing no signs of nerves, tucking that one in nicely.
Yeah, no, Uno going for the solo play as rep. Maybe thought he was getting a pass, but both people committing. Valone's getting the block there, putting it upfield, and Cash ready to put it into the open net.
Yeah,
As we
and I
can
mean,
see, go ahead.
you had mentioned a few games ago that you believe that whoever scores first will get the win. So do you believe now we can call it here as a Norway win? Do you believe this is what we'll see the
I
rest of
mean,
the game?
we can't call it yet, but again, I think it's really tough. As we can see that for the last few games, England is having a lot of trouble scoring.
Yeah.
And I mean, if Norway is playing similarly to what they've been doing last game, I don't see England scoring another goal.
I mean, it just may end up the same as what happened with the actual Euros, England just being runners up.
I mean, if it happens like the Euros, I mean, the early goal just meant that there was defeat. So maybe this is just all a hoax for the English to just get the win.
Will be, but I mean, personally, I just still refuse to believe it's coming home. I don't think with the performance we've seen out of the English side so far, I just don't think it's going to happen. We could see them there, just another goal line scramble.
And another
And
double
Cap
commit on the
again on the
backboard as
attack.
probably Valence is ready to collect the ball. And this is just a scene that we've seen too much, and no one dared to save that. That is interesting. I didn't think he would have an open net there. Oh, Kos getting some bumps on Uno there. Really well played by Kos there, forcing Uno to the wall so he wouldn't be there in time.
Exactly. I mean that's what we've been seeing throughout, or at least personally I've been seeing, is just Norway splitting apart in that manner now, not sticking together as they used to. Instead, one of them keeps to the ball and the other goes for bumps like that, and it's been paying dividends clearly.
A really nice beat for Redman. That should be an open net for Uno, who of course puts it in. As it's back to a one-goal game.
Of course, I mean Uno, as we all know, could have finished that one with his eyes closed. But do you think he's going to maintain this kind of form and keep scoring, or?
I think it's what he has to do. I think he has no other option. But again, we can see also the danger in the way Norway is playing in this play. Gus committing as a second man for the ball, and he's just getting beat, and it gives the open net for England. Like, I think that's the danger in the way Norway is playing at the moment. That if they get beat once, what a save by Uno there! Really good shot by Walones, and then actually getting the save off there is really nice.
Exactly, but I mean, talking about Norway's the dangers behind their current playstyle. Obviously, we've seen last game England has yet to consistently adapt to that playstyle. So, do you think we will actually see them adapt to it in the final 2.5 minutes we have ahead of us, or do you think it's just too little, too soon?
I mean, I think fully adapted, I don't think, but I think there's definitely chances for them, as we have seen before. Like getting that 150 win is just giving them a lot of time, and then Uno just going for the pinch there. Like, I get you want to hit the clip, but it's just not the moment.
Yeah,
As you can see, Cos trying to move out for Uno. Walones is already there to keep the pressure going. Rugby
Malone's
giving,
just not letting up at all,
and as you
just
can see,
constantly applying pressure.
yeah, and the difference is here, like where Norway maybe has the ability for two people to keep the ball close to their car, playing past one player. We can see a lot of the time that England is just trying to bang the ball away or looking for the pass by just having heavy touches and just giving the ball to Norway again.
Yeah.
Yes, we almost approached the last 1.5 minutes with still one goal game. What do you think? Are we gonna see another England goal or?
I can't be sure. Just looking at the scoreboard, even I think it mainly depends on what Uno can do. Really, just the scoreboard. It really says a lot about the teams. Obviously, Norway even enough in score, but England is very much a one-man show at the moment.
And as we can see from the stats, it's a one-man defensive show.
Yeah, that's Ratman. He is getting the touches, he is getting the clears, but he's just on the goal line. He has not been as much of a monster that Uno has. But I don't know. Do you think that Uno's current defensive prowess will actually see them to a win here?
I mean, I think the thing with Uno is sometimes he just can pull a play out of his ass and it works.
Yeah.
It's
True.
it's something you always have to account for. Like again, Valon's here shutting him down, and that's really good. Cos going up for the shot, and this is what you need to do as Norway being like first man just needs to say fuck it and commits for everything that the England touches, and just let them throw the ball away. And if they keep that going, I don't think see England scoring an equalizer here.
Neither can I. I mean, I don't know. Like about 20 seconds left. I'm not sure. It could still go either way. Obviously, only being one goal behind, but
As
it
we
is
used to
quite
see
unrealistic.
a lot all the time, their second man is just ready to just get the ball, just collect it, and it's just no effort needed for them. As the ball comes in center, Redman with a clear, Cas ready to receive it again. Malone's ready to maybe get a fake or a shot even. Uno with the save. As the ball stays up, with maybe gets him a last second play, which Uno can't keep it up, and that's game, match. And we have our winners from
Yeah.
the Euros.
Yep. Norway, our Euro champions. Of course, England still not having the ability to bring it home. It's just it can just never happen. I was having a chat with Uno about that only a few days ago, about England's ability to bring it home, and can't even happen in Rocket League, unfortunately, as Norway takes our championship for the Euro 2020.
We want to congratulate Valence and Cas, of course, after a really nice performance. After
Yeah.
just dominating their group, winning a solid semi-finals, and then getting a 3-1 win in the grand finals as well. As we ask the people to stay tuned, I think, because we have something, an announcement coming up in a short amount of time, if I'm correct.
We do indeed, as
So
we
we would,
should do.
so the people watching would like to ask you to stay for a little break. We'll probably have a 5-minute break, if I'm correct.
Um,
Bit longer.
hopefully, it could be slightly longer. We will just have to wait and see, and we'll see how it goes.
But again, an important match is coming up, so please stay tuned for that, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching.